Welcome aboard the Smooth Jazz Cruise 2013, and right now you're enjoying Candy Dulfer's shoes. Oh, there we are. Okay, yeah, those are some rockin' kicks.
Thank you.
We call them kicks here. Yeah. Yeah, so we're hanging out week one, having some fun, aren't we?
Yeah, very much. I don't know what it is with this cruise. I think this is, for now, my favorite. The audience is great, and there's a really great energy with the musicians, and everybody's happy, and it seems to be easier than normal. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's even more fun than all the last ones. It gets better every year. That's basically what it is.
I think so. There's a community spirit, and Candy and I did a fun panel this week for women. It was supposed to be, the guys thought it was going to be shoes and handbags.
Shopping and about beauty stuff and stuff, but it ended up being a real fun, deep conversation, really intense between the audience and Angie on the board, me, you, Pat, and Kim Hill, the DJ, and it was wonderful. It was really about what is inside women's heads and hearts today, and it was wonderful to share it with the people here, and it felt like people needed it, you know, because this is probably a holiday for a lot of people, but also they leave behind a lot of stress and a lot of stuff, and it was great to share it with each other, and everybody has stuff in his life, so it was wonderful.
True. It was very warm and bonding, actually. Yeah. And I think that kind of started everything becoming very familial almost, you know, from the music to the outside events and the ping pong and the... Oh, how was your sailing in Cozumel? How was that?
That was amazing because I'm actually... the only time I ever sailed before this was with my dad when I was 13, and my mom and me jumped overboard because we thought it was so scary. So I wasn't really looking forward to this trip, but I promised it to Dane Butcher, so I just went along with it. But it was wonderful, and we had to split up in two teams because there were so many people that were, subscribed to this, and then we had two teams, and my team won by a hair length, I have to admit, but we won, and it was great. And we just had a great day, beautiful weather there. You know, it was just like too nice, and I almost felt the boat went too slow at one point, so that means I was really comfortable with it. So it was a good trip.
That's great. So you might do that again?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you will next week.
Yeah, next week certainly, but next year, I was getting good of it.
This is great, and you're playing great. The show is fantastic. The new album's still doing very well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's because it was a departure for me. I mean, I've always tried to do new stuff every record that I bring out, but this was kind of new. We put some dubstep in there, a new producer, Prince Board, so it was all really fun to do. And it turns out that people really get it. They really, even here, you know, this is probably the most smooth jazz audience that I ever draw, because I'm here on the ship. It's a smooth jazz cruise, but even here they totally get it, and I have the feeling they do want the
we want to move.
Exactly. Yeah, people want to dance and want energy in their lives, and I want that too. So it's great if music can give that to you, and I didn't have any feeling that I had to tone it down here. I think even I have to bring it up.
Last year you were a little nervous about that.
I was. I mean, I knew that we were going to do good, but I wanted to show them also the new stuff, and if you do too much, it's never good. You know, you have to give people your old stuff, but I found I couldn't get enough of the new stuff, so that was a good feeling.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, the new album is called Crazy, by the way, and it's just jam full of smooth jazz, but dance stuff and vocals. And my favorite song of yours, I told you last time, In or Out.
Oh, yeah, I love that one too, because it's a little bit more personal, and we don't do it this year on the ship because it needs a lot of backing vocals, and we only have one great vocalist, Margaret Bell.
I know it really well, so if you decide.
Okay.
I won't.
Come on, okay.
Just kidding.
That's next week, Sandy Shore.
It would be really bad. It would be like Alonzo on the bass. Let's just say that. But I sing it in my car a lot. Yeah, I love it.
I'm glad it's a personal song.
You've played with some people that we have all loved, Prince, and I just found out recently because I was YouTube surfing and found a great interview with you and Van Morrison.
Yeah, I actually did a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, I did a really nice television special of 5 or 6 episodes in the Netherlands called Candy Meets. And I got to interview my heroes, which were Mavis Staples, Maceo Parker, Sheila E., my dad, and as you said, Van Morrison. And it was just amazing because I could just ask him anything I wanted, and it was okay if it was more about just music, because a lot of interviews nowadays, they have to be about personal life and issues, and they have to be, I don't know how it is here, but in Europe everything has to be pop, 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 and sound bites, and there we could really take the time.
He did, yeah.
And Van opened up, and he never does that, you know. I mean, it was a blessing that he did it I know he did it for me because he hates interviews, but he really opened up, and it was a really good conversation about music, what drives him, so I was really proud of that, and I'm glad it's on YouTube because we try to put it international, but it's hard for Van Morrison doesn't want to sell it. But it's okay. I understand that. So it's nice if there's little snippets on there. Yeah, and
look for it on YouTube. I guess you could just search Candy Dulfer Van Morrison.
Yeah, and even also the episode with Sheila E. is amazing. It's hilarious. We're on the street busking, and she really opens up. Also, I was very thankful to her for being so open to me in that interview. So it was fun to do.
You like doing that stuff, don't you? Interviews and radio. You're doing a radio show? Why are you laughing?
I'm afraid for her now.
No, I'm not going anywhere with it.
Yeah. I said yesterday, you know what? I'm also doing a radio show. She said, you know what? I'm planning to play the saxophone as well. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it.
I was
but this
teasing
is only a Dutch show. It's no competition for you whatsoever. If it would already be. And
I'm not wearing shoes like that ever, so don't worry.
And the television show is also was a one thing. But what I just want to do is bring music out to new people, to anybody, and get the message of what the fun of music is really all about. And sometimes it's forgotten because there's so much cool stuff happening and you see on the TV, but like young kids, they only get to see the glamour side of music, and they only get to see the really thought out morsels that people want to give them. They don't see the background, how fun it is, what how rock and roll, even the older music is. We have there's no very young musicians on board except maybe for Alex Hahn this year, but it's still rock and roll. It's still fun, you know. And you see it with the kids, the few kids that are on the cruise here. They go like, "This is fun," you know. It's like it's not old people's music. It's blah blah, and that's what I try to do. So any channel I get, I will go in. Yeah,
and that shows me that that's your passion. You're not just playing and making and recording and performing live, but you actually spend your free time putting sets together. And that's one thing we did talk about after I teased her. We did talk about how the art of putting music together, because that is art, and that's a lost art. Being a DJ is a lost art. Things these days come out in a computer print list.
I know,
and we don't want that anymore.
No, when I said yes to the radio show that I'm doing on Sublime FM, I said, that I'm going to do the music myself, right? And they said, oh, okay, but we can help you. I said, no, I don't want any help. That's the only fun that I will have with this show, is not to put my voice on the air. I want to put music on the air that I've been missing on the radio, and I get every freedom there. That's really cool. So I'm playing all this funk.
Well, they do deserve a plug for that then.
They do, and they're a new station. They're trying to do things totally in a different way, so I hope that catches on.
Good.
But we have a good amount of listeners, and I get feedback every day, so that's really nice.
That's great. And you're touring a good bit this new year?
Yes, definitely. We're going to Japan. We're going to come back to the States. We have another cruise set up in October, the Smooth Jazz Cruise.
The West Coast edition.
Yeah, so it's going to be so fun. I'm also doing the X Factor now in the Netherlands. I'm going to be a jury member. And I'm bringing out a clothesline, so it's going to be a crazy busy year. But
this is great.
I really
are the shoes on it?
Everybody asks me that, but I don't think I can compete with Sheila E's shoe line, so I left that out. No, that's something I'd love to do in the future, of course.
It would be fun, yeah.
Yeah, but this is already a dream come true. It's just a girl's dream.
It's great. And what an exciting year you've got in front of you.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Very cool. Candy will be here next week 2, and then again in October on the West Coast edition, where we're going to start in San Diego. So that'll be great. And then 2014.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be hanging.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be old friends by then.
Yeah.
Thanks again for sitting here with us and chatting about the Smooth Jazz Cruise, and for Smooth Travel and smoothjazz.com and Sublime FM.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I'm Sandy Shore. Thanks. Sandy and Candy.